This is the brush and glass of water assignment. So what you want to do is show transparency and distortion, learn how to render light to dark. So it's reverse. Usually everything we've done up to this point, we've been pretty much doing dark on light, like black pencil or dark pencil on white paper, black pen on white paper. So this is going to be white color pencil on black paper. So on a black paper, use white charcoal or white color pencil to draw a brush in a glass of water. And materials are black paper and white color pencil. So that's it in terms of materials. I'm going to show what I'm drawing. And I'll send a photo also, so you have a reference photo, or you can set this up on your own. If you don't have a brush, you can use something else like a pencil or a pen, just put it in the water. But fill up a glass with water and then put, in this case I did a brush, but put something in there like that if you don't have a brush. But first thing you probably want to do is this exercise. So this is just a sphere, the basic shading project. So you get the feeling of white, marking white on black paper. And then I did a couple value scales, starting light, working my way up to dark, and then dark, working my way down to white. So it's opposite. So to get the white, you press harder, right? To get the grays, a little less and less on the pressure. So let's see. So let me adjust this a little. All right. So you could sketch it out in pencil first if you want, or you can use the white. I'm just gonna use directly a white color pencil. But what I'm looking for is getting the form and then like kind of the shapes of each of the highlights. So maybe I'll just sketch the form first. Right, check your angles, look at your proportions, make sure you're getting the right shape. So first I'm kind of going through and doing like the contours, like the outlines of things, just to get the form in there. Make sure my ellipses look natural. And then, so I got the shape of the glass. So now for the water, I want to put where that is. And so this is easy to set up. If you want, I just used a black t-shirt. You can use a black cloth, glass filled with water, and then a brush in it. Like I said, or you can use pencil or pen, something else if you don't have a brush. But if you guys got the kit, you should all have a brush in your watercolor kit. So you can use that one. All right, and then so what you want to pay attention to is the kind of the changes that happens with the brush. When it's in front of the glass, the distortion maybe behind the glass, when it hits the water, kind of the distortion there. So like what it looks like on the surface of the water here, and then the kind of the displacement. And so you use your erasers too if you need to erase. You could erase off the black paper. The black paper kind of comes up, so just be easy with it. Like don't rely too much on the eraser, because the more you kind of work the paper, like the paper will start to kind of come up on it. This is a little bit different. This is I didn't have any black paper, so I put ink down, brushed it down on paper in my sketchbook, and so I'm drawing on top of that. So it's gonna take it a little different. Like when you use the black paper, you're gonna be able to get more of a range of values, some softer tones. But yeah, or if you didn't end up buying the kit, you could kind of make your own black paper that way too. So, all right, so then, I have the form there. Now I could just go in and like the things that are really bright, I could put in harder. If I see reflections, I could put that in. I could also do the area behind it. So I don't want just the glass. I want the area around it too. So like the drapery behind it. I want to put those folds in. And kind of render out those too. And so you have to kind of work backwards, like when you're looking at it. 'Cause I think a lot of times we're used to doing dark on light, so you're looking, instead of looking for the shadows first, maybe you look for the highlights. And so what's going to make this look like glass is, so like say this surface of the water, I want to do the reflections I see on there, right? But then this front part of the glass, I want to do kind of transparently the highlights or reflections I see on there. How these things kind of run through each other. And like the surface of this water is going to be a little bit lighter than down there, so I'll put in some light there. So yeah, so working backwards, I'm looking for like maybe the strongest highlights first and putting those in first. And then kind of softening up the lighter ones that are kind of in between there, that aren't as dark. So starting with more bold and working my way to more subtle. So this whole bottom part gets kind of light in there, like it's kind of like the ring, the bottom surface of the glass, like kind of like the cup area. And then it kind of distorts and kind of moves up the edge a little bit. I mean, it has like stronger parts here. this edge starts out lighter and then kind of gradually fades out over it. So this project should probably take, I would say probably like 6 hours. Like, cause figure like in class we would have 2-3 hour sessions, and so I figure some of you would probably finish in class, or you have your homework time. So at least 6 hours it would take to kind of get this from start to finish. I'm working pretty small. You guys, your paper's big. It's the same size as like the big drawing paper, so it's 18 by 24 inches. And so I want to be able to see all the parts. Like I want to be able to see the ring pretty clear, pretty defined. I want to see the surface of the water, the inside of the water, right? Like the different parts of the glass. I want to be able to see all those parts in your drawing, the background. And so like for the folds, instead of like the last project where we did the drapery, instead of like starting with the darks, I'm gonna start with like the highlighted, like the lighter edge first. And then leave, where the dark shadows are. But yeah, really try and get the transparency of the glass, of the water in the glass and everything, so you can kind of see through all those parts. Alright, so that's what you're going to do for the brush and a glass of water. And yeah, so you have about a week to work on this. So, don't try and do it all in one sitting. Maybe do a couple hours, take a break, or an hour, take a break. It's good to take a break and come back and look at it and see why before you come back and work on it, like kind of make a checklist of like in your head of like things you want to work on, like, I kind of lose this edge, I want to bring this out, or I need to work on a shadow or something. Like, so you kind of, when you go back at it, you kind of coming back with like a more like analytical eye of like what you need to do to finish your piece. Alright, so black paper, white color pencil, draw large. You don't have to fill the whole sheet, but you know, draw pretty large. Alright, that's it.